Hello students, welcome to online classes of Geography of class 12. This is the third class for chapter number 4, Human Development. And today the topics that I am going to discuss are number 1 is the classification of country on the basis of human development. Then I'll discuss about the exercise question answer, that is NCERT question answers, and then I'll going to proceed with the CBSE board question answer. So let me proceed with the topic for today, classification of country on the basis of human development score. Now, on this basis, the entire world is classified into four categories. Countries having high HDI, very high HDI, countries having high HDI, countries having medium HDI, and countries having low HDI. Now, the score, which is 0, we all know the HDI score ranges from 0 to 1. When it is 0.8, closer to that, so we considered as a countries of very high HDI, and 59 countries come under this category, and these are the rich countries. In the sense, why they are rich? Because their per capita income is very high, their gross national income is very high, and another most important feature is their average life is nearly about of above 80 years. That means they are having high life expectancy rate. Norway, Finland, Sweden, all the Scandinavian countries, there are many countries. Norway is the country which is having the highest HDI. So these countries comes under this category. Now the second category is the countries having the high HDI. Now 53 countries fall in this category, and in this category the score for HDI is 0.701 to 0.799. Now, what is the basic reason to have the high HDI? Because the government is there to spend on the healthcare, from the education, from the social sector, and there is no such social discrimination present in these countries. And basically, these countries were, in the previous time, they were imperial powers of the world, and at present they are the industrialized Western world. These are also quite a developed nations, and these countries also they are having good governance, and that is why their higher investments are the major aspect to achieve high HDI. So this is the second category of the HDI. The third category is countries of medium HDI, and India comes under this category. Now, what is the range? Why we are there in this medium HDI category? The range of HDI is 0.550 to 0.700, and 39 countries of the world come under this category. Now, basically, either some of the countries emerged out after the Second World War, or they were the former colonies like India, I said, or some of the countries emerged out after the breakup of Soviet Union in the year 1990. And these countries are having lots of social diversity. They are continuously facing political instabilities, and but gradually, what is the resultant? That now people are moving to increase their human development. Why? Because they have started adapting some people oriented policies, and they started reducing the social discrimination. So that's why they are gradually increasing their scores too, or their rates too. Now the last category of the countries is the countries of the low HDI. Now basically I'm giving some example: Iran, Iraq, all the UAE countries and African countries, they come under this category where the HDI score is below 0.549, and 38 countries fall in this category. These are very small countries, but not only that small, but they are continuously with the political turmoil. I said about Iran and Iraq, they are having the political turmoil. There are some countries where continuously social instabilities are there in a form of a civil war, which is there in the African countries. Then in African countries, there is another thing. There is a high incidence of diseases, the famine, which is also one of the reasons to keep the countries having the low HDI, and the unequal distribution of the country's resource. Here the country's resource is not having an equitable distribution. So these are the countries, they are having that low HDI. So what we can conclude, how these HDI scores have been assessed or have been measured. They have been measured on the basis of the pattern of government expenditure on the social sector. How government is expending on the social sector. How political what is the political environment of the country, whether it is a stable or an unstable one. What is the level of the freedom for the common people in the society? And lastly, what is the pattern of distribution of resources? Is it an equitable distribution or is it an unequal distribution? All these indicates the status of the country. Now I'm going to move with the next, that is exercise question answers, NCERT question answers. Now the first, what are the three basic areas of human development? That is number 1, education, number 2, health, and number 3, access to resources. Name the 4 main components of human development. It is the 4 pillars: equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment. How are countries classified on the basis of HDI? Just now I said. The conclusion part, what are the basis for the classification of the countries? Next, the long question, what do you understand by the term human development? Now you have to write the answer within 150 words. So you have to start with that, who introduced the human development concept, when the concept was started or emerged out or evolved out. Third, what were the basis for the making the concept, and what are its key areas for the measurement? Everything will be written up under this answer. So it will make your answer up till 150 words. Next, what do equity and sustainability refer to within the concept of human development? It's already been given in your notes. You have to proceed in your previous notes. You have to proceed with that. Now next, it is related to CBSE board questions. I'll just go with the board questions. 2009. Name the country which has the highest HDI. Already I said it's Norway. Name the 2 countries which rank at the bottom with respect to HDI. One is Niger and another one is Sierra Leone. Describe 3 indicators used for computing HDI. The 3 key areas, you have to describe it. 2010, you have to explain the basic need approach. You have to mention the 3 characteristics of income approach. You have to mention the 3 characteristics of welfare approach. And last question, what is the basic goal of human development? So what is the basic goal? To live a meaningful life with purposes. That is the basic goal. Next, 2011. The next question is, what is the concept of productivity and empowerment as the pillars of HDI? Already given in the notes. Why human development is necessary? Just now I said, to achieve a meaningful life with purposes, and explain the measuring of HDI. You have to explain how HDI has been measured. HD or HDI means human development or human development index. How it is being measured, that all the 3 key areas have been given a weightage of 1/3, and on that basis we get the whole. And the UNDP has given a report that if we add up HDI plus HPI, human poverty index plus human development index, then it will be the correct assessment of human development of a country. 2012, the 3 areas given by Dr. Huck, all the 3 key areas, with you have to explain those 3 areas by giving examples. 2013, equity is the most important pillar of human development. Again, it's a same repetition. Sustainability, you have to define it, and characteristic feature of the pillar of HD. Next question is related to 2014. Which country has proclaimed GNH as the measure of country's happiness? The full form of GNH is gross national happiness. And in the world, it is the only country that it has achieved the human development with the measure of country's happiness, that is Bhutan. It is the only country. 2015, there was no question. 2016, You have to just define what is human development in for 1 mark. 2017 again no question. 2018 you have to just differentiate between growth and development, and it was just of 1 mark. You have to just define, one is quantitative approach, another one is qualitative approach. 2019 there was a one question, again it was given for the GNH, but it was of 3 marks, and I have given the answer to this question. The GNH is the measure of the country's progress. Explain the answer. The GNH stands for gross national happiness, and how it has measured. It has measured in terms of happiness and satisfaction. Material progress cannot come at the cost of happiness. Now, if you are not happy and if you are going to buy a dress, so what you will think? Will you be able to choose the correct one for your as per your desire? Obviously not. You will just go and select a random one and you will buy it. So anything material progress, I've just given a simple example. Material progress cannot come at the cost of happiness. If you are not happy, you cannot succeed. It encourages to think of the spiritual, non-material and qualitative aspect of the development, the actual concept of the development. And thus Bhutan has proclaimed GNH as the measures of country's progress. So I have completed chapter number 4 with all the board questions and the exercise work. It is your duty to keep work up to date with the notes that I have already uploaded, and it is your duty to complete the exercise question and the board questions too. Now it's one thing, there are many questions which is repeated every chapter. So be little wise. If you are having a same question in some of the same years, or you have already completed in your exercise portion, no need to write that same answer for every repeating year. And if you are having any doubts, just clear your doubts by mentioning it in the comment section. And thank you for following today's class.